In this video, we are going to cover the full life of Vhagar before House of the Dragon. Vhagar hatched from a dragon egg on Dragonstone during the Century of Blood. She was named after a god of the Valyrian freehold. At some point, Vhagar was claimed by Visenya, and Visenya first rode Vhagar, demonstrating she was a dragon rider, sometime before she married her brother Aegon. After Aegon landed on Westeros and began his conquest, Visenya flew Vhagar to Stokeworth, where crossbowmen loosed bolts until the dragon set the roofs of the castle ablaze. Following Aegon's first coronation, Visenya upon Vhagar accompanied the Targaryen fleet commanded by Daemon Velaryon to take Gulltown. In the battle in the waters off Gulltown, the Arryn fleet defeated the Targaryen fleet, sinking one-third of the ships and capturing near as many. Then Visenya descended and burned the ships of the Arryn fleet. Visenya then flew to Crackclaw Point with Vhagar to accept many pledges of fealty from the local lords. She then flew Vhagar to Stony Sept to link up with her siblings, their dragons, and Aegon's army. They advanced south, where all three dragons took part in the decisive Field of Fire, the only battle in which all three of the Targaryen dragons took to the sky at the same time during Aegon's conquest. Together, Vhagar, Meraxes, and Balerion killed 4,000 men, burning them alive. King Mern Gardner died, and with him House Gardner. The army was broken, and House Targaryen was victorious. Visenya next flew Vhagar to the Trident in the Riverlands, where she met with her brother and sister and their dragons to face King in the North, Torrhen Stark. Brandon Snow, the bastard brother of Torrhen, offered to sneak into the Targaryen camp at night to slay the dragons, but the Northern King refused the attempt and instead sent his brother as an envoy, eventually bending the knee to the Targaryens. Afterwards, Visenya flew Vhagar back to the Vale, where she landed with her dragon in the inner courtyard of the Eyrie. When Dowager Queen Shara Arryn reached the courtyard, she found her young son, King Ronald Arryn, sitting on Visenya's knee, staring with wonder at Vhagar. The young king begged his mother for a ride on Vhagar's back. Shara bent her knee and surrendered, and Ronald rode on Vhagar thrice about the summit of the Giant's Lance. During the First Dornish War, following the deaths of Rhaenys and Meraxes in 10 AC at Hellholt and Dorne, Visenya and Aegon burned every Dornish stronghold at least once during a 2-year period known as the Dragon's Wrath. The Dornish tell a tale that the Targaryens refused to attack Sunspear because they were afraid that Princess Maria Martell had purchased a device from Lys to slay Vhagar and Balerion, but Archmaester Timothy suggests that the Targaryens intended to turn the other Dornish houses against the Martells. When King Aegon I died in 37 AC, Vhagar supplied the flames to light the fire of his funeral pyre. In 41 AC, when King Aenys I Targaryen named his eldest son and heir Prince Aegon, Visenya angrily left for Dragonstone. It was said that the moon turned as red as blood when Vhagar passed it. Later that year, when King Aenys arrived at Dragonstone, fleeing the first rebels in the Faith Militant uprising, Visenya asked him to grant her leave to take Vhagar and burn the Starry Sept in Oldtown. Aenys refused. When the king died early in 42 AC, Visenya left Dragonstone within an hour of his death and flew to Pentos, where her son Maegor lived in exile. After Maegor had claimed the crown on Dragonstone, Visenya accompanied him upon Vhagar and crossed Blackwater Bay to King's Landing. The return of both Vhagar and Balerion to King's Landing set off riots in the city. Prior to Maegor's wedding to Tyanna of the Tower, Visenya flew upon Vhagar to Driftmark to convince Alyssa Velaryon to appear at the wedding. When the Faith Militant continued to resist Maegor's reign, even after the losses they suffered at the Battle of Stonebridge and the Battle of the Great Fork of the Blackwater, Visenya mounted Vhagar and burned the seats of House Blaintree, House Tarek, and some other houses in the Riverlands within a single night. Maegor flew Balerion to the Westerlands, burning the houses of House Broom, House Doggett, and some other pious lords who had defied his royal summons. In 54th AC, Maegor and Visenya turned towards Oldtown, threatening to incinerate the Starry Sept in response to the High Septon's condemnation of his polygamous marriage. Only the mysterious death of the High Septon, which allowed Lord Martin Hightower to open his gates before Balerion and Vhagar, saved the city from Dragonflame. Visenya died on Dragonstone in 44 AC, leaving Vhagar without a rider. Vhagar remained unwritten for 29 years after her death, spending much of that time on Dragonstone and later taking residence in the Dragon Pit in King's Landing. It was in 73 AC that Prince Balon the Brave, after achieving knighthood, set out to follow his brother Prince Aemon and become a dragon rider claiming Vhagar. Vhagar, along with Caraxes and Vermithor, burned the Dornish fleet that attempted to invade the Stormlands during the Fourth Dornish War in 83 AC. After the death of Balerion of old age in 94 AC, Vhagar became the last of the 3 Targaryen dragons who had fought in the conquest. Vhagar became riderless again when Prince Balon passed in 101 AC. Her next known rider was Lady Laena Velaryon, which is what we saw in House of the Dragon. So there you have it. That was Vhagar's life before House of the Dragon and before what we see her in the show. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to like and subscribe.